Welcome to the second video in our nice little retro pickup series. Today we are going to talk about the Sega Dreamcast console, which is quickly becoming my favorite console of all time, even though I have only played this console for a little while now, but it is so good that honestly I never had this much fun with any other console. We do have everything here. We got the VMU, we got the controllers, we have the games, and I'm also going to show you the console that I picked up and the differences with it. So on the channel, I'm doing a series called Ranking the Dreamcast, where basically every episode I take a look at a Dreamcast game and then we put it in a Google Sheet and rank them all accordingly. So far we got 13 episodes out and more coming definitely. But I've kind of wanted to showcase the actual hardware because this is fantastic stuff. Let's start with the controller first, because this controller is, like, I've never had such a great controller in my hands. It looks awkward to hold, but it's absolutely not. I don't know how to other describe it, but I never missed the second analog sticks in these games. For some reason, I do feel like I missed them on the N64 when I play, but I never missed them on the Dreamcast. So this is the back side. They got this extension cord right here coming out. Well, the cord can be held up in this sleeve, so it goes above and not below. Pretty sure they added that later when they reacted to complaints, because having a controller cable down below is a little weird, but it makes sense because it gives you room for the extension slots, which this, let me pull out the VMU right here. This controller has two of these ports, and just like on the N64, but it only has one. Like on the N64, you only get one extension port, which means you will always have to switch between a rumble and a memory pack, which is fucking annoying and very quickly destroys the pins. So here, you just put in one memory card, one rumble pack, and then keep them in forever. I don't have a rumble pack with this Dreamcast right here. I only have two VMUs. Let's talk about the VMUs, because they are a big part of this console. This is serving as a memory card. However, it has only 128 kilobytes, meaning 200 blocks of save data. So these run out very quickly, which is why people are actually selling them in like big megabyte versions. But I have experienced in some games, mostly first-party titles, that some games really need the structure of the VMU, of the original VMU, and they don't really work with these third-party cards. So while they do allow you to save a lot more space on one card and probably come cheaper, also the risk of losing your files is like extremely high with them. On these, that never happened to me. They have been stable for, like, since I kept them, and I don't think they ever broke down, because they actually came with some pre-saves from their previous owners. So this has a slot for a clock battery down here, which goes out super fast. So, you know, normally it does have a battery in them, and you can even play some mini games on here, which is why there's like this control unit. You have like the super small D-pad and these buttons made out of rubber. So you could play like a little game on here in a black and white Game Boy optic, but the battery usually doesn't hold very long, and the games made here are not really worth it. There is like the Chow Garden extension game for Sonic Adventure 2 was kind of good, because you could like just bring this as your Tamagotchi on the fly when you were like on the train or whatever. But um, again, it does go out pretty fast and it's not really good. And playing like this is a little weird. I don't know. So yeah, you can play small little games on here, but it does have its negatives as well. And I just use them as save slots for the games. I don't really use them to play games. So let me just get this unit back in here. And then you can see the opening on the controller actually gives you the display. And when the console is on, it shows you just some the logo of the game, sometimes even a feature. In Soul Calibur, for example, it always shows the character you're fighting with. On other games, like, I don't know, 102 Dalmatians, it shows you your current health, something like that. So it does have its nice little gimmicks, and the display does make sense, but it's not like you absolutely need them. One really, really big plus on this controller is the analog stick. This is probably the best analog stick ever made for its time. Let's say for its time. Because this is HAL. Like, this was the first time and still the only time that a first party developer, publisher, whatever, gave you a HAL joystick. So these actually cannot drift ever. It's impossible to drift because they are magnetic and they will forever work. It's impossible to break down. And that is a huge plus that Sega did this back in the day. They were the first ever to do it and the only one still to do it. And, that's just crazy. The D-pad does feel a little bit mushy. Otherwise, I really like the joystick. It is my favorite joystick of all time. I really like holding onto it. Like, it's a nice grip. And it's the right size. It's not like one of these mini controllers for 3-year-olds. And again, the joystick is the best in the game. So then there's also extension cords. If mine came with it. I don't really need it because my console is directly where I am actually sitting. So under my desk. So I don't really need it, but I guess it's nice to have. I never tried it even. But it just came with my pickup. The games themselves, they come either in this NTSC packaging. This is a repro, by the way. They come in this NTSC packaging, which kind of is a little heartless and feels very old school, Sony PlayStation 1-ish, I guess. And then you have these amazing PAL region cases, which are thick and they show nice detail, and they have like this blue line here showing you the logo of the game. And then you can open them up. And then you have like the game here. This is not Repro, this is original, by the way. And then there's also always a manual. These manuals are very thick with every game. They are black and white, but it's understandable because there are like 500 pages or something in these sometimes. So yeah, there's always room for 2 discs in one case. However, these are very easily like prone to breaking. This does have, like you can see it very clearly, a cut here. So this fell down once before. And then these PAL cases are also, they usually just split and break. So it is very, very, very rare that you will find a PAL case that is not broken. Actually, it's honestly fucking impossible to find one that isn't broken. But if you find one, more power to you. Yeah. So with this, for example, I put in the burned CDI right here. It still comes with the original game disc. However, my original game disc is so scratched and damaged that I just had to put the CDI in here so I could actually play the game. And this is another thing, like, it's very hard to find games that are actually good condition. And when they are in good condition, they are super expensive. Um, yeah, that's just a part of collecting retro consoles, I guess. So yeah, Shenmue does come with 2 cases, so 4 discs, 3 game discs plus 1 bonus disc. So yeah, these are pretty fine in quality. They are very easily damaged, sadly, but you know, it's still what it is. Let's talk about the console though. So this is my Dreamcast console. And I think it has the perfect form factor. Like, it's very small and it's very nimble and doesn't really, you know, of course it can break if you behave like a monkey, but it usually doesn't. And it's very sturdy. And also very compact because, like, the whole technical parts in this console are right below the disk drive. So if you open it up, you can take a look inside the disk drive right here and see the laser on top there. Don't touch it or you will never be able to read disks again. These are very prone to yellowing, of course, so you can see, like, my top disk drive is yellowed. My controller ports are yellowed. That just comes with the console. It's kind of normal, and it's very rare to find one that isn't yellowed as like crazy. Then we have the different model versions. Like, if you actually look on the side down below right here, I don't know if it's easily visible, but you can see there is a little one here. So these come in different models. Model 0, 1, and 2. Only Model 0 and 1 allow you to play burnt games. Model 2 has this as well, but I believe only until the November of 2000 manufacturing date. So if they were manufactured beyond November of 2000, they will not be able to play burnt discs anymore. Yeah. And also, like, for the ports down here, you get the VGA port, you get the power, and stuff like that. This is my Bitfunks adapter that I use to actually play in HDMI. And it works very well, but it needs to... I'm not going to plug it out now because it needs to be seated extremely, like, heavily in there, or else it just won't work. For the vent, like, this is the only vent you have. This is where all the air comes out of. And it does work nicely. Some people do upgrades with it, like they actually take out the pre-installed vent and put a Noctua in here, which I guess is recommended, but these still work if you don't do it. And I'm not doing it without them stopping to work because I want my devices as pristine and as original as possible. I'm not a big fan of modding, to be honest with you guys. I get that there are big plus sides of removing the disk drive and actually putting a GDEMO in here. I know it's easy to do. I know it's like a matter of taking out 5 screws and plugging something in within, like, I don't know, 5 minutes. I know it's simple to do, but it does come with a price, of course, and it also... in my opinion, it destroys the pristineness of the device. I like my stuff as original as possible, which is why I also opt for simple HDMI splitters, and I don't really like playing in, like, fake 4K and use a RetroTrink or whatever, because then why would I play retro games if I play in 4K? Like, if I upscale my games to the moon, why even bother? Then I could just emulate, right? So, in my opinion, I just want to stay things as original as possible. Yeah, so the Dreamcast library is very big. Great games, fantastic experiences on here, and I recommend everyone to get one. It's a perfect time. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.